The government has pledged to review laws concerning cyberbullying and may draft a new legislation to tackle the issue. Professor Datuk Dr. Andrew Moharaj, Director of the Mental Health and Wellbeing Impact Lab at Hayles University, points out key factors for protecting and supporting victims of cyberbullying.
In order to formulate such a piece of legislation, one has to look into certain definitions of what constitutes cyberbullying, and in its various forms, such as harassment or spreading false information or stalking. And what about things like aiding and abetting another person who is bullying? As well. So these are things that needs to be looked into, because encouragement in cyberbullying plays a major role. Often it is not just that person who instigated that bullying activity, but through the encouragement of that person to get others to be involved, and that's what snowballs into this something tragic that happened recently. But also that there needs to be a careful thought on which digital platforms would this piece of legislation address. Would it just be social media platforms? What about messaging apps? What about emails and things like that? Besides its scope and jurisdiction, will there be legal consistency in terms of how does it harmonize with the existing laws in terms of harassment and defamation, for example? And of course, the penalties and enforcement as well needs to be looked into. Certainly, a penalty of 100 ringgit is not acceptable, right?
Beyond regulations, Andrew highlighted other measures to address cyberbullying.
I think there's a role for so many other stakeholders here. For example, schools can start, modules on cyberbullying at a very young age among students, and this can be made almost mandatory, for schools to have this sort of modules on cyberbullying, so that children at a young age are taught that it's not cool to bully. Physical bullying or cyberbullying. But for that to succeed, parents have got to play a role. They can't just, pass the buck to schools and expect schools to work miracles on their children. So parents also have to do this, and for that they have to lead by example. The most important stakeholder here is probably the industry that provides the platform. So therefore, technological solutions could play an important role in this, besides just legislation. So how do you moderate the content of these platforms? And you need to look into, the industry has to look into algorithms that can detect and remove harmful content in real time. What is the reporting mechanisms that allow cyberbullying victims of cyberbullying to report this quickly and anonymously? So I think this, and as well as fine tuning of parental control in the software to look into the children's activity and their online activity. So these are some of the things that can only be done by the tech companies involved in this, who come up with these products and services.